it's actually, Eurovision has gone through a major cultural shift where countries used to perform in their native language, and now most countries perform in English. So that, yeah, that shift kind of occurred late 80s, early 90s, because countries that sang in English kept winning, so people could understand the lyrics. Israel is the only country that every time they've won, it's been in, no, that's not true. Every time Israel has won, it's been in their native language. Israel has won every contest in Hebrew. But their recent Israeli answers are in English.
This one's Cal Latin.
This one is, yeah, there we go, Cal Latin. So look at the lyrics. I'm on 9B here. This is Arik Einstein, who I played at the beginning. Glance through the lyrics real quick. This is 1972, a little earlier than this. And glance up at the performance, but this is a much better recording of him. Both of these songs that I play for you, hugely popular in Jewish summer camps. Because this is kind of the era when Israelis start to come over to Jewish summer camps and start to have this cultural exchange between bringing Israeli culture to American camps. Think about what's going on, American culture, what are you listening for, what kind of song is it?
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of ballad years, like Gordon Lightfoot, popular.
Yep.
Sing Erica.
Alright, as much as I want to play all these out, I'm kind of
Well, this is 72. Women's Lib became official in 1970.
That's the thing, yeah. What else we got? A lot of protest songs. Protest songs. Yeah, yeah.
And that it's possible that you and I can do that.
Right. And, it's probably going to be difficult, but it doesn't matter, because don't worry, we're going to start over. Others have said it before, but it doesn't matter. We will do it. Other people say that we'll change the world, but in 1970, we're the ones, we've got it. We've got it under control. Our generation, the 1960s and 70s. Very similar to what's going on in American culture in the 60s and 70s. We've got a generation of young people who, oh yeah, well, absolutely, we'll change the world. It's been messed up for a long time, but don't worry, we're going to take care of it.
And we did.
And, there you go. There you go. I wasn't boring yet, but I didn't want to put too much on. Okay. So what I want to explain about 1970s Israel is that, one, you look at the lyrics and the performance of both of these songs, this could have been written and performed in any Western country, in any Western language, at the exact same time. There's nothing Hebrew about this other than language, right? What I want to show is that 1970s you really start to see American influence becomes huge. No song, you can't not see American influence for the rest of the, from here on out. You're going to hear American styles. It's going to be much, much, much more obvious. Two, this is an Israel that even after the Yom Kippur War in 1973, confidently thinks it belongs to the Western world. And not only that, the Western world kind of agrees. Israel not only wins Eurovision 1978, they win the following year in 1979, one of a handful of countries that win 2 years in a row. I would play that song for you, but we don't have as much time. But then what I want to explain this transition is that in 1978, we're going to transition to 80s music now. In 1978, it's the most important year in Israeli history we never talk about. It's the first time that the right-wing parties take power in Israel. Menachem Begin becomes prime minister in 1978. This ends 50 years of basically single-party rule in Israel by the left. The reason this happens is I wrote a paper on it last year, but there's a lot of different explanations. One of them is the coming of age of immigrants from Arab countries. Mizrahi Jews become very dissatisfied with the way that Israel is run. And the way that Israel is run by a secular, Ashkenazi, discriminating group that didn't really take care of their parents as well as they thought they would when their parents were new immigrants from Arab countries. And what happens is that this population of young traditional people vote en masse for the right-wing parties and become a major bloc in national elections. And not only do they break into Israeli political culture, they finally break into Israeli music culture. So remember, this is state-run radio, Army One radio. What are they going to play? These are the songs that you and I grew up on. We're playing our music. Our ancestors from Eastern Europe created a new culture, and we're going to play that culture. What happens when Jews from Arab countries say, our ancestors didn't play the accordion. We didn't dance the hora. Our ancestors listened to what I'm going to play for you now, which is they took Arabic popular music, translated it. This is Joe Amar. This is not from the 1980s. I'm showing you a precursor of Mizrahi popular music. Jews from Arab countries popular music. This is a concert at Carnegie Hall.
This is not the 80s?
This is not the 80s. This is, I'm going to play a little bit for you so you can hear the difference between, think about our Ashkenazi music, have that in the back of your head, and now listen to this. Sephardi and Mizrahi Jewish music.
Is this on our sheet?
This is not on your sheet, sorry. I just want you to listen to the tune top of it. This guy is probably one of, I believe, 30s and 40s, one of the most famous Jewish artists in the Jewish Arab world. By the way, singing a song that here. Singing a Simchat Torah song. Always keep that in mind. It's Jewish music. See how we dance this. That's why you had to hear that. All right, so what do we have here?
Different instruments.
Yeah,
Different
great. I don't need a service that sounds like that. Let's put it that way, right? This is religious music. I don't need a service that sounds like that. Why?
No, we're really happy about that.
You're good. Okay. I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
We have friends who are Iranian Jews,
Yeah.
and when we go to one of their weddings, they have two orchestras, a U.S. orchestra and then a Persian orchestra. And the difference in the music is tremendous. And most of them hardly dance to the U.S. music. They get up and click their fingers and snap their fingers and collect their tongues to the Iranian music. It's really interesting. Completely different, but on Long Island there's a tremendous Iranian community.
Okay, I'm going to review this a little bit. But yeah, so Joe Amar is this is Mizrahi music. This is Arabic popular music translated into Hebrew. And this is the background to the 1980s Mizrahi music that we're going to listen to a little bit here. The idea of, this is a group that has been excluded from, they're not played on the radio, they're not listened to in the Army. All of their music is underground. This music, when it starts, is referred to as bus station music. So the way it works is this music could not have broken out of popular culture without cassette tapes. what happened was is that in the bus stations of Israel, people would trade cassette tapes like business cards. Most of these people started out as performing at bar and bat mitzvahs and weddings. And the business card was a cassette tape of their music. And eventually, these cassettes get traded around and become really popular. Cassette recording devices, I don't know if explain this, right, okay.
We need to know about ATAC.
That one is beyond. Anyway, the proliferation of cassette recording devices, this music gets traded around a lot. It's still called bus station music. It's low music until the demand becomes so popular, they put it on the radio. And in the 80s, this music explodes. Everyone's listening to it. Even the Ashkenazi majority culture begins to appreciate this music. What I'm going to play for you now is Zohar Argo. He's referred to as Hamelech, the king. This is the, oh gosh, I think I know the best way.
Oh, he's Elvis.
Yeah, she's more than Elvis, and I got to figure out a way to describe it. But I want you to listen to, keep in the back of your mind, Joe Amar, keep in the music we just heard, and see what he does with it. By the way, lyrics aren't near as important as just the love song. You can look at them, right? This is the 80s now. Watch these images. So, again, the Hindus start performing, they perform at bar and bat mitzvahs, they perform at weddings. Alright, so this is Mizrahi custom. In order to tip the singer, you're touching the money to his like, you're so impressed by him as a person, like people are just... Right, watch that. There's this stuff. Pop music, but you still hear that influence, right? There was Mizrahi music. Alright, now we're at the chorus here. Top of page 10. You just glance at the words at the top of page 10. You'll get the shit. That's what the song is called, the Proverb Country. Alright, cut this off. So, Zohar Argo, hugely popular. This guy has it all, and much like American popular music of the 80s, one of the things I want to point out too is that his audience is a very traditional audience. This is hyper-traditional secular. I can go into this. I don't have time to get into this of how this kind of works, but Mizrahi Jews have a strong appreciation for Jewish tradition, but tend to lean secular in deed, not mindset. So he's kind of combining these right. He's playing for a very traditional audience. However, he gets very caught up, like most people did, in the 80s pop music scene. He actually he had a drug problem and actually died of suicide in the early 90s, and it was something that his traditional community that listened to him very, very uncomfortable by this fact. The other singer that I wish I had time to play for you, Oprah Haza, passed away in 2000 from AIDS-related complications. And this is people who, in these, this is not nearly as important as like the cultural impact of their work, but this idea of they have a very traditional audience, they're living a pop music lifestyle, and what happens when that traditional audience refuses to accept that? You had a lot of people saying like, there are a lot of people who didn't like the fact that Oprah Haza's death by AIDS and Zohar Argo's suicide was reported in the press. Major protests against that being shed to light, and people prefer to remember them like this, as the kings, the leaders, the people who took Mizrahi culture and put it on the radio. You have no idea. Imagine it's like when African American music, begins to be popular and put on the radio, right, you wouldn't, I mean, think about the way that people responded to, and this is a totally terrible comparison, but think about the way people responded to Michael Jackson's allegations. Think about the way that people respond to when your heroes don't live up to that perfect lifestyle. You have this perfect model. You never think about how, you know, probably. You're right. Can I borrow like 15 more minutes to finish these slides?
Yeah, you started late.
I did? Okay. All right. One comment, yeah.
One of the things I really noticed that started with the Cow Latin song
Yeah.
is that it's definitely moving from social and communal socialist kind of song
Nice.
to me and you and individualism.
Individual love and solo artists.
And not the whole group, yeah.
Right,
Because
right.
even when the guy was up in the front, most of the time they were all singing together.
Yeah.
He did have a solo, but it was really communal. Yeah.
The song I skipped, High by Oprah Haza. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on it. I want you guys to look it up. It was in the 1983 Eurovision Song Contest. She did not win. Oprah Haza is the Madonna of Israel. She was probably one of the most major Israeli figures to have an international pop career. She's huge in Europe. And she sings this song called High, Alive. And in 1983, Eurovision is held in Munich. This is 11 years after the Munich massacre. She sings a song about how the people of Israel are still alive. This explodes in Israel, becomes the most popular song for most of a long time. But this idea of somebody goes back to the site of the Munich massacre and sings that the people of Israel are still alive. My favorite line of this entire thing is...
Not just the music.
Not just the... Right. You look at the bottom of page 10. Alive, yes, I'm still alive. This is the song that Grandpa sang yesterday to Dad, and today it's me. I mean, it's beautiful. You got to look at the presentation, because the presentation is also very, very 80s. It's her wearing giant yellow pantsuits. Anyway, if we have time at the end, I'll just show you what they look like. So we're going to skip to the 1990s here. I'm finally alive. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I mentioned that Israel won Eurovision 3 times. This is the last time Eurovision won. Dana International in 1998. She is the first transgender winner of Eurovision. This is, okay, I'm glad that you immediately picked up on wherever my notes are. Right. Huge angry backlash. Now remember that before Eurovision, every country has to vote on what song they pick. And her song got picked. Huge backlash from conservatives in Israel. Pretty much every major conservative political figure put out a statement of this is awful. She cannot be the face of Israel. She cannot represent us on the world stage. What a tragedy this is. Then she wins. She wins Eurovision. First time Israel's won in 22 years. All these politicians would have to figure out a way to congratulate her in honor to the country.
In a dishonorable way.
By the way, criticism stopped pretty abruptly after she wins. There's a conversation. I just read this while I was preparing for this. There was a debate in about how Bibi Netanyahu was his first term as prime minister, and he has this debate of is he supposed to call and congratulate her because the ultra-Orthodox party say if you don't, this is terrible. So what he did, he got around it by he instructed his press secretaries to pass on his congratulations. By the way, in Tel Aviv, all night, they're playing this, there's a huge party that, I get this, the Tel Aviv-Jerusalem divide, right? Tel Aviv, this is huge for the LGBT community in Israel. So I'm going to play this for you. And again, remember, this is Europe choosing the best of European culture, and it's Israel. By the way, Dana International, also Mizrahi. She also comes from this background, becoming really, really popular. And she also sings in Arabic, becomes huge in the Arab world until the major Arab conservative figures. It's an Israeli transgender woman. I mean, like, it didn't work well, but her music was really good. Right.
Hören Sie den Jubel. Damit ist es klar. Israel hat den großen Sieg gewonnen. Dana International, Viva ihr Song. 174 Punkte. Zweiter, Australien 69. Malta Dritter, 166. Niederlande Vierter, Kroatien Fünfter, Belgien Sechster, Norwegen Siebter und Deutschland ein Zehnter.
I didn't mention, her song's called Diva. It's all about powerful women in history. It's a woman bigger than life, or something she possesses. There's magic and hard days, and a stage that belongs only to her. That she's really herself, only when she's out on stage. On the stage, Diva is hysteria. She is a love song all over. Diva will cheer. Diva Victoria and Aphrodite. Diva Victoria and Cleopatra. This is the song she presents here up here. And again, remember, singing in Hebrew, unusual for a Eurovision song, not in English. Watch performance, listen to the tune, think about the 90s. Alright, here's the chorus. So it's a club song now, right? I mean, again, winter Eurovision all over Europe. Played on radio stations all the time.
Why is that? It's weird that heavy. Is that a woman standing over on the left?
Yeah.
She's
The rest
heavy
of
set.
the backup singers are like.
Yeah, but she's like standing all by herself, and the other ones are all like gorgeous and skinny.
Lord knows that. This is where my conception of art like breaks. Okay. So. The song I'm going to skip now from the 90s, which I also encourage you to look up, Horav Pavel. After this song was written, we're done with this now. Horav Pavel was written after the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin. It is a translation of "O Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman, set in Hebrew. So again, written after the Lincoln assassination, Israel's trying to deal with the assassination of its first prime minister. Very keyed into this international world. What do? They take an American poem written after the death of an American president. I think both of these songs kind of show where Israel is in the international stage in the 1990s. Again, still very, very, very plugged in. You've got battles between conservatives and liberals in society that ends with the death of a prime minister, which still an event that's deeply, deeply scarring to Israeli society to this day. And I'm going to show you that in the very next song of how scarring the assassination of Rabin was, even into the 2000s and today. Last song I want to show you, I'm sorry I'm doing this in like 6 minutes, but I've actually heard entire lectures on modern Israel, presented by this next song on the bottom of page 12, Shirat HaSticker. This is a rap group called Hadag Nahash, and it's a play. Their name is a pun on cars in Israel. When you get your learner's permit, they put a sticker on your car that says Nahag Hadash, a new driver, and they switched the beginning, so it turns into Hadag Nahash, which means the fish snake. It's a group that they're very, very good at playing with words, and they composed this song they took bumper stickers and graffitis and political slogans around Israel and made them rhyme, and took them into the rhyming parts and made an entire song about Israeli political culture only from bumper stickers. And what you're going to see from the video is what they do is they put the bumper sticker in the, you're going to see people dressed up like all parts of Israeli society, the religious women, Arab Israelis, secular Israelis. What they do is they have the singer of the song, the sticker, the opposite political agenda of the sticker. You know what I'm saying? So they have the Arab Israeli who sings the bumper sticker of "Don't give the Arabs guns." They have the religious Jewish, the ultra-Orthodox man say that everyone should be drafted. They have the secular guy say everything is left up to God. So it goes way too fast. But I'm going to play through it, and then I'm going to take 2 minutes and breeze through some of the more difficult. But let me go through this now. If you look at the bottom of page 12. A whole generation demands peace, and then next bumper sticker, let the IDF win. Am Chazak Oseh Shalom. A strong nation makes peace. What is this? Again, harken back to the 60s. What I want to show with this song is that you cannot have this song without every layer of Israeli society that came before it. Every single political agenda is encapsulated in the song. There's no peace with Arabs, don't give them guns. Serving in the infantry is the best. Everyone should be drafted, everyone should be exempt. No fear, the Messiah is in town. Turn to the next page. No Arabs, no terror attacks. The Supreme Court, which in Israel very historically liberal and preserving of human rights, the Supreme Court endangers Jews. The 2 parallel slogans, the nation is with the Golan, the nation supports the Golan, the nation is with the transfer. Friend, you are missed. Anytime you see the word friend in here, Chaver, from Bill Clinton's eulogy of Yitzhak Rabin, said Shalom Chaver, and in Israeli political discourse, Chaver becomes code for Yitzhak Rabin, based on Bill Clinton's eulogy. Yeah.
What are they referring to when they say transfer?
The transfer of I believe it is the transfer of Arab Israeli populations out, expelling Arab Israelis from the country. Don't quote me on that. It could also be the transfer. It's also a transfer. Anyway, the Holy One, blessed be He, we elect you. And then parallel with that, people who are against democracy, direct elections are bad. God, we are zealots for you. And then the next political slogan, may the zealots die. And here's the chorus. How much evil can be swallowed is actually a campaign against force-feeding geese for Ra. It's a bumper sticker that says, like, you shouldn't force-feed geese, but they're turning it into, how much evil can our society swallow? How much, we can't take much more of this. Again, you can see how they repurposed everything. Let's see here. Okay, I think it's enough, but if you have particular questions about individual lines, ask me. So let's listen to this. So again, they're dressing up like members of the group. This is also written in 2004. A little bit of Mizrahi music, a little bit of American break. Sorry. Arab Israelis, all the women on stage saying everyone should serve the army. People saying Messiah is coming, don't worry. People singing about God.
Obviously, this was not Army approved.
when did censorship sort of end? When did that transition occur?
There is still some army censorship in Israel. However, there are private airways now. The Israel